If anyone's here already, um, I'm just pre-streaming to make sure everything works. But gameplay probably won't start till 5 or in about 8 minutes.
Niggas be thinking I'm deep, intelligent, fooled by my college degree. My IQ is average, there's a young lady out there, she way smarter than me. I scroll through her timeline in these wild times and I started to read. She mad at these crackers, she mad at these capitalists, mad at these murder police. She mad at my niggas, she mad at our ignorance, she wear her heart on her sleeve. She mad at the celebrities, low key I be thinking she talking about me. Now I ain't no dummy to think I'm above criticism, so when I see something that's valid I listen, but shit, it's something about the queen tone that's bothering me. She strike me as somebody blessed enough to grow up in conscious environment with parents that know about the struggle for liberation, and in turn they provide her with a perspective and awareness of the system and a fairness that afflicts them, and the clearest understanding of what we gotta do to get free, and the frustration that fills the words seems to come from the fact that most people don't see. Just cause you woke and I'm not, that shit ain't no reason to talk like you better than me. How you gon' lead when you attacking the very same niggas that really do need the shit that you saying? Instead of conveying you holier, come help us get her to speed. Shit, it's a reason it took like 200 years for our ancestors just to get free. These shackles be locking the mental way more than the physical. I look at freedom like trees, can't grow for us like overnight. Hit the ghetto and slowly start planting your seeds. Fuck is the point of you preaching your message to those that already believe what you believe? Almost a fucking retweet, most people is sheep. You got all the answers, but how you gon' reach? If I can make one more suggestion respectfully, I would say it's more effective to treat people like children, understanding the time and love and patience that's needed to grow. This change is inevitable, but ain't none of us seen this before. Therefore we just gotta learn everything as we go. I struggle with thoughts on the daily, feel like a slave to somehow to save. And no coins to buy his way up out of slavery, thinking just maybe in my pursuit to make life so much better for me and my babies, I done betrayed the very same people that look at me like I'm some kind of a hero because of the zeros that's next to the commas. But look here, I promise I'm not who you think. Ran into this nigga outside of the store yesterday, he said something that had me like, wait. He was like, Cole, appreciate what you been doing, my nigga, that's real. But damn, why I feel faker than snow on the bluff? Or maybe cause deep down I know I ain't doing enough.
Alright. Let me ping everyone real quick. And then updating the title. Well, the title actually doesn't need to be updated. It's the same thing. Okay, let's see if we can get in real quick. There should not be any issues. Actually, the server's not up yet, so 1 second. Let it load. Man, hopefully it's loading. Just give it time. There we go. There's a bit of I currently have the whole game wait while it's generating the Baldock's Forge so that I can just get in and test it. But later on that'll be thrown onto different threads so it's not blocking the game. Also, this would not be here in the real game. I just put it here so I can for easy access. We can go in here real quick. Yeah, give myself some stuff first. Alright. I can turn off the music and then turn on. Oh. I have this little path that I'm generating right now that goes exactly to the boss. So this would not be here in the real release. I was just using it for debugging purposes. But I'll go through it to give you guys an idea of how big the forge is. Hopefully we can find, oh, hello, the blacksmith here. So the forge is going to have this blacksmith guy, and this is how you enchant your weapons. You'll come to him when you're ready to enchant, which means you have the soul cost requirement for the enchanting, as well as there's going to be an enchanting item that that's going to be required, and you'll come here to do that. So it'd be a lot harder to find. He's usually in a random spot in the forge, but you're not going to have this path that tells you exactly where to go. Also, the quest symbol is not going to be there in prod. I also just have that for debugging right now. What's going on in the alcoves in the walls of the main room? The alcoves, what do you mean? Like these just random things? It's just a generated, like, cave-like dungeon-ish, or yeah, like a cave system. So that's just the shape of the rooms. Do we have potatoes yet? There's no potatoes. Like a farming system, as well as fishing. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Also, I'll probably work on it later today, or after the gameplay part of the stream. Make a boss set piece. So this will basically spawn like a little arena with the boss. And the quest is a little bugged when he's dead. It'll just keep sending it to me. But as you can see, it's pretty, like it's quite the path to get here. And it wasn't that long for me because I know exactly where to go. But when you have no clue where to go, it takes a bit longer. But that's basically all I have of the forge right now. I'm still working on a bunch of assets. I still need to do the enemies, some encounters inside the forge, as well as a few tasks you have to do to spawn in Valdok. But this guy is not, he's not always necessarily along the path to Valdok. He could be like on a different branch. He's just kind of randomly placed in the dungeon a certain distance away from the spawn. But we'll go back to Nexus. Just for the sake of showing everything here. And also, is the game music too loud? Is it too quiet? Let me know if I should turn it up. Because I'd like you guys to be able to hear all this. This is a little goblin quartet that plays in the Nexus. As you get closer to them, it'll change, like fade in and fade out. This is the vault system, so it's just, you just come here and it's the slots. You don't have to. No, man, we're getting an error there. We'll come back to that later then. So here are the pets. You just buy them from the Nexus. You can buy them for either one of these. These amounts aren't solid. Obviously, I want to balance the death currency out to not be too cheap and not be too expensive. But you basically just spawn them in, and then they're like a following backpack. You can just throw your items in there and then pull them out if you want. You've got emotes, so I think I've already unlocked them, but you'd buy it and then unlock it, and then you can use the emote dial, which would do like a public emote so anyone can see it. Here I'm planning on putting skins. This is like the wardrobe vendor. And up here would be limited items and the such. Can you full screen the game? Yes. I'm gonna have to build it real quick though. Give me a moment here. It'll probably be easier to see everything with full screen. So let's enter the overworld. I had to change the outlining system, and I haven't adjusted it yet for full screen, so it's looking a little thick right now. Will it support Linux on release? I'll try my best to get it to support Linux, but I can't guarantee anything because I don't currently have a Linux device to test on. I'd mainly have to work with the community to do testing until I could acquire a testing device for that. And the warrior doesn't have an ability, so I'm just gonna be playing just swords and everything. Or he doesn't have an ability yet. Most of the classes are still in the works and their abilities. Just heading up. I think we got to the shallows last time. I'm gonna go into the tundra. I think we were having issues and I never really got to show off the tundra last time. Oh, also this quest marker up here, you can change it to be just a simple version like that. Whatever you want. That doesn't show the name of the enemy or anything though. It's just up to your, whatever you decide. And I showed all this yesterday before we got cut short, so I'm skipping it right now. We should almost be there. So the overworld's pretty big. It's 2048 by 2848 tiles. So you got a lot of land to cover. Oh, there's the shallows. I think we might have to cut through the shallows just a bit here. It's the Hydra. It's a shallows encounter. These guys are all crazy. Alright, let's do some of the tundra encounters, like this guy. Oh, this guy slowed me. So this enemy is specifically part of the Demirian, or from Dimir, so they're like a Demirian clan. And they're supposed to be giants, so that's why he's so huge. But he's specifically an encounter level enemy. Which the encounter enemies will have better drops, and they're more like mini events, like a cube god or something from Realm. Yeah, as reference. Oh man, hopefully I don't die here. I've died every single stream, multiple times. There we go. I didn't drop anything for me that time. Let's see what else we got here. We got like a Demirian warrior, just a simple guy. The tundra, the peaks, and the shallows are all pretty unfinished right now, so they're not. There's gonna be more encounters and mobs on release. These are the brittle bones. They look spooky from the ground sometimes. Oh dang, those are actually pretty good drops. It's a war mammoth. Well, if I didn't kill him, he'd charge you. We'll head over to the peaks as well. Oh, I could do the top, or for quests, I could have it appear under as well. For enemies in general, I'm not going to do health bars, but for quests, I can do it. Since you basically already know their health, I can have it show underneath the player too, and have it as an option as well. These guys have really good drop rates. I should probably change that. This seems way too high. I'm getting a drop on every single one. I don't need defense. Yeah, also for the, I don't know if you noticed, but on the, since I'm the only one, it's kind of hard to notice, but when I attack him, I might get some damage in. I didn't even hit him. See that it's blue? The blue represents how much damage you've done to the quest. So not necessarily, if someone else was attacking him, the red bar would be going down, but the blue bar wouldn't increase. The blue represents your damage percentage, just so you know what you can get or not. And let's still try and get over to the peaks. This frozen lake, if you stand on it too long, it'll actually crack and then break like that. And then it should freeze up here in a little bit. Yeah. Alright. Here are the peaks. The peaks I don't have an encounter made for them yet. So they're just some of the mobs that I've made. And I'm planning on making even more mobs for it. Like I said, the Shallows peaks in Tundra are still unfinished. This guy will basically set up and then he'll dash at you or lunge with his spear. These guys just take a big swipe at you with their sword. Oh shit. That guy can summon skeleton. Yeah, the Necromancer. He summons a monster like that. I'll probably make him summon more. Maybe make them a little less healthy, like pretty easy to kill since they're a summoned monster instead of like an actual mob. So they're more meant to be an annoyance to get you off the Necromancer. Although I might switch to Blade Weaver because he has an ability and these guys don't. Or I could do Brewer. I don't know. Yeah, there's no dex, so your attack speed is based off of your sword, so it has the rate of fire stat on all of them. And then you would level up like this, although you're not supposed to actually go above max through this menu. It's something I still need to implement, which would be the ascension by the ascension table or area. Yeah, I'll jump on the brewer. This is lava. It will hurt you in production. Just not yet. I haven't done that yet. Still working on a bunch of mobs and the gates right now. So there's still a lot to do in the next 2 months. It's gonna be pretty packed for me. But I've made great progress like in the past every week, so it's coming along. Yeah, I'll jump to a different class. Alright, 1 second. Alright, I'll jump on a brewer, right? Oh, I need to unlock. We'll play Alchemist for a bit so that I can unlock that. Although it might be bugged and I might have to restart the client, yeah. Oh, hey Vars. So what's your ability? Sorry, I'm trying to go back. The warrior didn't have an ability made for him yet. Only a few of the classes have definite abilities, like the Blade Weaver, Brewer, the Ranger are all fairly set in their items, or not items, their abilities. This is the Alchemist. The Elixir weapon is as you can see, it's like an AoE splash damage type weapon. See, I can use it on some of these enemies. Sorry, I'll get to some of those questions I'm missing in a bit. This is just the level 1 elixir. Elixirs do less damage per hit because you're hitting multiple enemies. If I give myself like the UT elixir, then this one does a lot more damage. So the student's elixir does only 30 to 60. The UT elixir does 840 to 1000. But it's got a very short radius of to hit. So it's kind of hard to land correctly. I haven't even. There we go. Oh man. It's also got a really low fire rate. It's probably easier to hit on bigger enemies. So yeah, a lot of things are still adjustable. Oh, sorry, I'll catch up. So many opinions. I just don't need to throw offers feedback. Yeah, I love all the feedback everyone's been giving. It's helped so much. Oh, Sea of Ours, it's alright. Yeah, you've got your own stream, man. Don't even worry about it. Alright. I currently have there is an ability on the Alchemist right now. It's like this thing you throw and it basically increases your attack and vit, but I feel like I'm gonna redo it because that just seems too like non-influential. Like it doesn't really do much other than passively increase things. Oh, you guys have to hear the entrance into the Valdok's Forge. That's the best part. That's kind of, I like it. It's really, Yanga's done a really great job with all the music and everything. It's been awesome. But we'll go back to the brewer class here, since that one has an ability. Oh wait, I forgot. I have to. Oh man, I have to restart. I have to get another class quest on the Alchemist to unlock the brewer. So let me just give myself that real quick. I think it just asked me to max, right? So give. I have to max 3 stats. I don't have the set max stats in yet. Like I don't. So currently every class just maxes at 50, but it's not going to be like that on release. The classes will vary in their maxing. And it might make me restart again. Every time I go to the menu, it's doing that. I'll have to get into that later or have a bug fixing day. What are you doing in Blender? Is it related to this project? Yeah, it was just for the yeah, I was doing the workshops table, the blacksmith table. I was also doing like the cave walls and stuff. Just like UV mapping and then making the models. It's just very simple 3D models. Alright. So the brewer's got an interesting ability. He can select 4 different potions, and you can see your selected potion right here. That's bugged. You're not supposed to be able to click that, and for some reason it opens up the level up menu. So if you just press your ability real quick, like just click it real fast, it'll select the potion that you want to use, and the color of the potion correlates to the stat it's gonna help you with. So if I do the green one, it's gonna be speed. Oh, I need rage. Let me go into the overworld. Oh, also, this Fireside guy, when you're close to him, there's local music that plays. He's like a little tips guy, and he'll just chill there on the beach. Oh man. Yeah. Last stream someone told me, well, we were kind of decided that the beach is a little hard right now. Should probably tone it down a bit. Pretty much nothing is balanced correctly because I'm the only one playing it, and so it's not played enough to be balanced, which during closed beta and the beginning of open beta, all the balancing will change. Oh man, leave me alone. I was trying to show off the ability. Let's get back in there. I have to restart. Will there be a pop-up in chat whenever we get a rare item, like how most PC servers did it? Probably not. I don't know. I haven't done anything like that so far, so I don't know. Oh, and real quick, I can show the leaderboards. You've got all time. It's bugged, I guess. Monthly, weekly. They're gonna be all the same because it's just people I've died with recently. And the living leaderboards as well. So the living leaderboards goes off of how many souls you've acquired, not even how many souls you have. So if you spend souls, you're not going to go lower on the leaderboards or anything. It's just whoever is currently alive and has acquired the most souls. Which these are all guys I just kind of gave myself souls with. That's why they're so high. I gotta grab another brewer. I'm gonna level up a bit too before I go in so I don't. Is it giving me? Guess I have to restart. Yeah, I'll do a probably on Sunday. It's usually when I do it, just to go through and fix a bunch of bugs that are appearing, like this, where I have to restart every time I'm trying to do something in the menus. And it's still happening. What is going on? Let me try and load it in Discord. Or not Discord, in Unity. Oh, there we go. Give myself some stats so I don't die to the beach. Also, oh, I spelled it wrong. There's my grave. Oh, you can also honor the graves. You can just do it once per person, and it'll grow a little flower. It's kind of cool. Oh, I need that. Okay, so now that I've got some rage, I select the speedy one, or the speed affecting stat, and if I hold down my ability, I'll drink that potion and gain its effects. Gotta wait for the cooldown, and we'll do it again with the others. And elixir. Okay, we should have enough time now. So the purple one is attack. If I drink that, it gives me increased rate of fire. And how long the effects last depends on your rage, how much rage you have. And I believe the area that it goes around depends on your attack stat. So it might be a combination of both, actually. Would there be different tiers of UTs? I'm not against that idea. I don't have anything in there right now, to do that, but it's definitely something I can do to maybe have some identifying way to identify how good a UT is without any previous knowledge. Alright, now the defense potion, I think just gives me fortified, which means my armor's doubled. Some of these might be changed, like this healing one might be too OP. So the red right now just gives you healing. And I'm max health, so it doesn't do anything. How do you increase dexterity? You don't. It's just defined by the item you're using. So this item has a rate of fire of 1. Although there is a ring that increases your rate of fire by 5%, as well as an armor, I think. So there are a few ways to increase your rate of fire other than your weapon, but there's no dex stat or anything. It's just the set amount. So it says a rate of fire of 1, it'll shoot 1 per second. I think that's pretty much quickly gone over most things. I can do the Blade Weaver. If it'll load. Oh, I can show the vault here. You just throw items in. And I think that's a bug right now. Yeah. The it's showing up as a loot bag and as your vault, which is kind of odd. I get a bug as well whenever I open the vault. Yeah, the elixirs shoot slower since they're AoE. It's a little unfair to be shooting super fast. Also, so it doesn't, it's like that so it doesn't lag people, because every time you shoot it does that area effect, and if people have ally projectiles turned on, they'd be doing those projectiles every time you shoot. Let's see, I don't know if there's anything else to show at the moment. Oh, never mind, we were talking about the Blade Weaver earlier. Got off track. Blade Weaver. And it's bugged. Will I add more classes later down the line? Yeah, I'll add classes. No, I've already honored it. So Blade Weaver's got an interesting ability where he can dash, so it's yeah, and he also gains invulnerability during his dash, so you can use it to reposition. And he can dash pretty much, if he's got full rage, he can dash up to 3 times with just a full rage bar. And depending on how long you hold the dash down, you can decide how much of the dash you want to use. So if I just press it real quick, it's just pretty much not a dash. Like, you just don't go anywhere. But if you watch right here, as I hold it, it'll use more, and I'm still holding it and I let go and it'll dash. Oh, I guess the Lancer's ability is done. I could show him next. This is fairly simple. It's just like a increased, it's like a hail of blades kind of thing. Yeah, you get invincibility. You're actually not even, you won't even be hit by the projectiles. The projectiles will still be there. Like you're not, you won't tank them and not get hit. You basically just won't even be calculated as a collidable. Oh, I got hit before I dashed. But you'll just go through the projectiles. But you also can't shoot while you're dashing, so it's like a repositioning maneuver or to help you dodge. I need to build up some rage real quick. Okay. Let's find another brute here so we can go through his thing. Okay, so I'm holding up the dash and I just go through. I didn't get hit by any projectiles, but they didn't disappear. So you can still land on a projectile at the end and take damage. So you have to be careful with that. There's also another piece I'm going to add to the ability where it's going to spawn projectiles along your dash path so that you can do damage with your ability. So it's not just a repositioning, it has some damaging effects. It's like if I dash from here to here, there'll be projectiles that spawn along that path to damage anything that I dashed through. So the Blade Weaver is pretty high risk and like high skill cap class. It's kind of my favorite to play, just because I like the sword classes. What was the other one? Oh, Lancer. Oh, sweet, I've already got one. But it's giving me issues. How do you upgrade abilities? Is it even possible, and does the ability scat? Yeah, so your ability, basically how big your ability is depends on your attack stat and how much rage you've built up. So if you've built up max rage, your ability's going to be really strong. The Lancer, he shoots 2 projectiles and they kind of converge at the end of its path. Let me give myself some stats so I don't die. Build up some rage real quick. And the Lancer builds rage faster because he shoots 2 projectiles. Since you build rage every time you hit something, shooting more projectiles just helps you build rage faster. His ability is fairly simple, where it's I might make some adjustments to it as well since it's so simple, but it will just shoot like this. If I just hold it down, it just shoots out a flurry of spears that do damage. So that's pretty cool. What will the white bags look like? There's a chest sprite that I'm doing for him. This chest, the chest sprite changes. I currently don't have it in right now, but the sprite will change depending on how good the items are. It's in the Discord, the devlog somewhere. I posted all the chest sprites. But as far as gameplay, I think that's everything that's in. There's the Ranger. I showed that yesterday, where it shoots down it like rains down arrows from the sky as your ability. Actually, is that light? No, it's heavy armor. Is there a class capable of enhancing its own attacks? Not at the moment, so I still need to do a lot of the abilities for the classes. I have a pretty good idea of where I want to go with most of them, but I've just been focused on other content at the moment. So I'll loop back to working on the abilities once I'm feeling good about the gates. But I think is there any other questions you have about gameplay or anything? Because I've pretty much shown everything, combining yesterday and today. If anyone missed anything, I can be happy to show you. What's going to be equivalent of Oryx's Castle? So Oryx's Castle is like the realm ending dungeon. So in this, when the overworld completes, you'll go to Mana's Gate. So Mana's currently the main titan of the overworld. I can spawn in his sprite. He doesn't really have any behaviors right now, but that's what he looks like. He's the main boss. So you'll go to his gate. Yeah, I'll go to the lake biome. I should probably get a better spear though. Would there be ability items? Your ability is defined per class, so there is no ability item. Yes, Indy, I'll head up to the lake biome. That's where I'm going right now. Yes, it's going to be both mobile and PC with crossplay enabled. Whoa, what's going on up here? So this right here is the Hydra. It's an encounter level boss in the Shallows. He's got a bunch of dangerous tools. Those little blue spikes right there will ground you if you get hit. And if you're grounded, you're basically, I'll show you. You're paralyzed, stunned, and invulnerable. So you just have to sit there. But you have to be very careful because the boss can basically sit on you. And once you come out of that grounding, you can be screwed. It happened to me a couple of times yesterday. But with this Hydra, once you kill the head, the entire neck will die as well. Or, I mean, if you kill the neck as well, the head will die. Or if you kill the body, it will all die. So you can choose how you fight it off. Oh man. It's more the grounding. I keep getting hit by them. Oh, I just got hit by a huge knockback from the body. This blue one. Throws you out there. The Hydra's kind of the scariest thing right now. I think I've died to the most for sure. Alright, come on. Oh, I've got that dust devil behind me. Oh, I think the head died, and then the neck is not dead. It's definitely a bug. Interesting. And these bosses are meant to be fought by parties, so that's why it's pretty much taking me forever. Oh, I see what the problem is. I've got a bunch of errors on the server right now, so nothing's actually really dying. And it should be kicking me, but I have that disabled. That's why I don't think I'm actually doing any damage to anything, because for some reason the projectile calculation is off. Which seems to be a bug with the Lancer because of his ability. I'll have to fix that later. Look back into it in like a bug testing session. What are those guys called again? Zealots? I have to look them up. I don't remember what they're called. Are there multiple Hydras or does it respawn after it dies with the cooldown? They encounter can spawn multiple of them. They usually don't spawn really close together if that happens, but there is a kind of a limiting factor in their spawning. Yeah, the UT items will have definitely some unique effects. Does the Hydra have its own unique drops? It will. Most likely. I thought about that. I plan to add that. Do you have an expected release date at all? I'm aiming to release in August. As long as I keep working pretty much overtime until then, I should be able to make it. But I think that's pretty much it regarding gameplay. I think I've shown almost everything that's in so far. This except for Bogman. Oh, he's bugged. He'll just run away. He needs to be on his tile. But he's got a big old chain that he swings around and he'll throw it at you and everything. It's kind of fun. Have you added a rework for Alchemist ability? Not yet. I'm gonna have to loop back to the abilities later. Can you donate to receive some perks or something, like a skin or companion? I mean, when it releases, you can buy the premium currency and purchase a skin or companion with that, which would be donating or supporting the project with that revenue. But there's not any sort of donation system right now. I don't really think it's. I don't want to have a donation system before the game's release. Um, Plans for purchasable deals. Just, I mean, besides the one deal, I planned, yeah, just having that supporter pack at the very beginning that you can buy once, where it would pretty much set you up with all the base, like character slots, vault slots, um, and some gold, or I guess not gold. I don't have a name for the premium currency yet, so I don't know what to call it. These are some of the things I'm working on. It's like mana. Everyone's missed what we just basically saw in game. You're working on this all alone? Yes, but except I have Yango who does the music, and there's no way I could be able to do that. Have you thought about maybe hiring some freelancers? Um, I mean, thought about it in that I probably won't. Yeah, I um I don't think I need to do that at the moment, at least. I might bring on some employees probably next year or whenever the workload would be too much for me. Where at the moment um it's fine. But yeah, I've basically done. I do all the spriting and the coding. Any thoughts on a future UGC? Um, I'm not against it, but I'd probably like it really just depends on what it is and the context of it. But so far, the spriting has been like a fun thing for me to do, and it hasn't really been too hard, just time consuming. But I might probably just end the stream here, and then I'll upload it to YouTube or something as well for anyone wanting to watch it and get a peek at the current gameplay and content. So if anyone has any final questions, then now's the time. would you show um, how you go about programming an enemy into the game? Yeah, so I mean, you just make the sprite, but if you're, I think you're talking about behaviors, which would just be, um, I have like a behavior system I wrote as well as like a scripting system for it. Let me show you this. Let's see. Oh, that one's empty. Like Bognin, um, it like relies on states and behaviors, but it's like a, I don't know if this makes any sense, but it's like a scripts that I write for them. So with that, I'll conclude this streaming. So thanks for tuning in. Um, it's fun to show everything that I've been doing with everyone and like answer questions and clear up any confusions. Um, but yeah, I'll be streaming again next Sunday as long as my internet's working fine, which it usually is. It's just um, a weird thing that was happening yesterday that didn't allow me to. But 7 p.m. MST is when I usually stream. So tune in, and I'll next time on Sunday I'll probably be going over content that I worked on this week as well as working on new stuff in the stream. So this stream is basically just a gameplay and catching everyone up that just joined. But thanks for tuning in, guys. See ya.